Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and I'm about as happy as a pig in mud. The weather's been so bad, I've been doing all my videos up in my shop. Today, it's like 57 degrees right now, and just beautiful out here. No wind, just nice. And I just did a sawmill demonstration for someone who's interested in buying one. We set it up and ran it just a little bit and showed them all the pros and cons and the different features. And I've got a longtime viewer who's going to be here this afternoon and has traveled a long way to hang out with me and check out the sawmill. So it's going to be a fun day. Right now, what I want to do is get rid of this burn pile, this brush pile. If I can get this all burned down, I'll come back out here this evening and keep feeding it. It's already about 11 o'clock, so I better get it started. It's still getting dark before 6. I've got some packing paper and a few cardboard boxes in there. We'll see if that'll start it. Now, of course, I'm not one of those people who violates EPA regulations and gets my fire going better with used oil or diesel fuel or anything like that. But we'll just watch it a little bit and see if it magically takes off in a hurry. This tree here died probably 18 months ago. And I cut it down last year, and it's just been sitting up here. I forgot it was even here until the other day. I drove by and saw it. So we're going to get this dragged down there and cut it up and throw it in the burn pile. Am I the only one who does that? Just forces their way into things and breaks hydraulic hoses? That's what I did. These hydraulic cylinders on that grapple are protected behind a steel plate, but there's a hose that runs from left to right, and that branch caught that hose and just shoved it, and it ripped the fitting out. So, won't be a big deal, other than probably cost me 30 bucks for that elbow fitting, but we'll do that later. I'm going to get the other grapple and get this moved. When I went around there and grabbed that, my plan was to set it off to the side, cut it up with the chainsaw, and throw the pieces on there. I came back around and my fire was almost out again. So I need something on top of it right now to get it built up. I decided to just throw it on there and see what happens. And it took off. If you're noticing the smoke all going one way, it doesn't take much to move smoke. It is a very light breeze today. And my whole field out here is muddy. But most of the day, the windmill hasn't even been turning. Actually, we look over here. You might be able to see it down there. It's turning slow, but not much. About half the time, it's been completely stopped. Well, it's taken a couple hours of messing with it, but it's finally burning really hot down under this pile. And it's not a lot of brush, it's all big chunks, so it takes a little while to get that stuff going, but once it's going, it stays going. So now that I don't have to worry about that, I'm gonna come right up here around the corner and start milling some lumber. A few days ago, I had someone out here looking at buying a mill from me, and I wanted to demonstrate. So I came out here and I showed him how to run the power head up and down, and I came back out today, and the screen was still on, and that's running off this little battery. So we may have to jump start it. Now, the guy who manufactures these, the owner of the company, told me it draws a very small amount of power, and so it might be all right. I want to run the mill anyway, But the reason I'm really focusing on it right now is that when my friend, the viewer, gets here, I want to make sure it's ready to go and there's not any problems so I can demonstrate. What we've got here is just a tiny little log, and every time I get one of those, I'm like, man, that's almost not worth milling, but I certainly don't want to waste it. Well, sawing with Sandy, he almost exclusively does little bitty logs like this. So we'll see what we can get out of it. I was trying to mill this log without a lot of commentary, but I did want to say something here that's just giving my opinion on a topic that people talk about a lot. I cut off 4 inches on this end. This log had a lot more taper than most of what I deal with relative to its size. And so it's like, man, you just wasted a 4x4, but it's only 1.5 feet long. And after that, you could have got a 2x4. And some people have told me you need to get like a 6-foot 2x6 out of it. And I've talked about this before, but I don't have the desire to stack up a bunch of short 2x6s. I don't think that these boards are necessarily worth much more than the firewood, which I will sell. So that little bitty log gave us 2 2x6s that are true 2-inch. And I'm going to say this is more than 6. It's going to dry to 2 by a little over 6. That's all you get out of a small piece. Now, if I wanted, I could have got like some 1x6 live edge or a little short 2x6 or things like that. But I'm just going to make firewood. Sounds like a woodpecker. Sounds like a couple woodpeckers. One over this way and one down that way. Could be something else. From here, it may look like that fire is about burned out, but it is not. It's got big flames in it. Still, it's burning hot. We might be able to add to it here in a minute. Well, we got a lot more burning to do tonight. It's gonna still be going in the morning, but I think that's a wrap for this video. Got a few things done today. It's really nice to be outside working in some decent weather. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.